sales and jolo or love relationships, the equivalent is usually on building a relationship with the customer. Most of our business people, they make a mistake. We think that people, they want agents, but people, they follow a system. If you look at it,
I think people should really consider what they have in front of them first before going for another thing. For you either lose something, you lose both.
You lose both.
Welcome to the Chartered Vendor Podcast, where we talk about sales and entrepreneurship. But before I go any further, go and press the like button, like and subscribe. Also press the ring button so that you get to receive all our posts and you get to give us feedback. Today with me, I'm with Jerry. Hi, comrade.
How are you? How are you, comrade? How are you doing?
I'm fine, comrade.
How has been your week?
Jerry, I have a hectic story to tell.
What happened?
So then yesterday when I was going home, I passed by a cosmetic shop. You know, us ladies, it's month and need to buy. So then I was in front of the line, like I'm the one who was now supposed to be served. Then came a person who was just shouting. Okay, she knew the person was the salesperson. Can you give me my order? I'm here to pick it. And then I was left behind.
And how did you feel?
It wasn't nice.
It wasn't nice.
If people are serving people like that in shops, I don't think.
And what did you do after? What was your reaction?
I ended up leaving everything. Like I didn't buy because you have to give me the attention. I'm a customer. You have to serve us the same.
Yeah.
What have you ever experienced such?
Yeah, many times. I think I've experienced that as a customer and also as a sales trainer. So as a customer, what I've noticed is most of usually it happens with companies which don't have proper systems. When I'm saying systems, is if a company has actually told you that, I'll give you an example, like airlines. Airlines, they've got a standard system. An airport has got a standard system. If they say a plane is supposed to leave at 5 minutes to 6, they will definitely leave at 5 minutes to 6. They don't wait. They don't wait. They don't say, because there's a guy who is in rush, he's supposed to go to Botswana today, so we're going to leave 10 minutes earlier. They don't do that. They follow the system. If you also look at companies like, I'll just mention names, but I'm not allowed to do that by the producer. But I'll mention probably you look at Chicken Inn. If you get there, no matter how you're rushing, you follow the system which is there. No matter you want to buy probably all their orders of the day, they don't care. They say, wait. They will start with the guy who is buying one pizza first, then the other guy will follow. So the problems which I've noticed during my seminars, I've also worked with people, especially in the retail sector. I was working with a company which actually sells spare parts. So what these guys were actually saying, they were saying, what about if it's a combi driver? He's rushing. So he just wants oil and he leave. So I'm going to leave this guy and start attending a combi driver. Then some of them were saying, no, the shop will be full. So I'll be juggling, trying to save 3 or 4 people. So my thinking and what I always tell them is you need to serve the person who is at the front first. And you follow, even if you're in a rush, that person is supposed to follow the queue. If you don't follow the queue, you're going to disappoint the person you are with, and you don't know what this person was going to buy next. Probably this guy probably, especially you're just going to buy probably one bottle that day. Just wanted one bottle. But you don't know, in future probably you're going to buy a full order, or you're going to refer 20 other people. So this one now, what we're talking about, it's sales and also customer service. To say, how does someone feel after purchasing something? The mistake is we think that when people are buying, they only want my product. They only want to get my product. They only want to, if I'm cheap, I'm going to sell more. But people, they want after buying, they've to experience a feeling. To just say, how did I feel when I purchased this product? That is what is going to make someone come again and also refer you clients.
You talked about systems. So which systems do you think small businesses can implement in their company so that they can serve everyone professionally?
Yeah. So when I'm talking about a system, it's not necessarily a software.
Okay.
Probably if we have a podcast, which is going to air every Monday at 8 a.m., what it will do to our audience, they will actually come expecting for that podcast every Monday at 8. They know that every Monday at 8 is going down. Are you getting it? So sometimes people cannot even realize it. They will start noticing that they now know that at 8 a.m. the podcast is premiering. Then boom. But it's now wired in their mind that every 8 a.m. they're supposed to connect with the what? With the podcast. So what I'm simply saying is, be it a podcast, be it, even if it's if you look at even buses during 80s, during early 90s, buses had schedules. So people can follow a certain schedule. But if you just do things randomly, what I'm simply saying, a system, it's a way of doing things. If it's our podcast, it's going to end in 20 minutes, supposed to end in 20 minutes. If I'm supposed to wear makeup before the podcast, I'm supposed to wear makeup, no matter how much we are late or how much I'm feeling that day. So that's a system. A system is simply saying a systematic way of doing things. If your shop is serving the person who comes in first in, first out. That's a FIFO method. It's already a system. Not to say first in, last out. That doesn't work. So that's what you're supposed to work on. A systematic way of doing things, no matter what happens, no matter it's a holiday, no matter you're in a rush, you make sure that everyone is saved. For example, you're about to close the shop, but everyone is inside. If the policy is saying we're supposed to save everyone who is inside, let it be. That's your policy. And sooner than later, most of our customers and clients, they're going to grasp that concept to know that these guys, when I'm just in, they will save me even if it's 8 p.m. But when I'm outside, they're not going to save me. So that's a system. That's a system. If we're saying here at M&J, we are wearing white on Monday, that's a system.
Everyone should be wearing white.
Everyone should be wearing a white. No matter this person is going to say there was no electricity. I didn't get water to wash my clothes, so today I'm going to be wearing pink. It's a no. It's better for them to stay at their place until they now know that if I don't wear in white on Monday, I'll be sent back home. That's a system.
I liked how you mentioned about chicken in. You know, when you're in the queue, they have that system of making everyone join the queue. And we also get our numbers that you are order number 7.
Exactly.
No matter you are rich or no matter you are poor, we are all saying
all the same. Exactly.
Yeah. So I think most people should just copy the respect and the right way of doing things.
Yeah.
I liked how you mentioned in this book, by the way, guys, buy the Souls is Goes to Mjolo, and we also have it on Souls is Goes to Love Relationships. It's a good book and it goes for $20. Okay, so when I was reading, I think it's chapter 10. It's point 10. When you mentioned about Dr. John, he was on a date with Natasha. And then when they were on a date now, he got carried away by Melody. Now, at some point, he actually lost both of them. And then he had to go again and beg Natasha to get her back.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think people should really consider what they have in front of them first before going for another thing. For you either lose something, you lose both actually.
Yeah.
Or you gain one.
Yeah, like, so what I was saying in this book, I was actually talking about Dr. John. So those who don't know the background of the story, Dr. John was actually looking for a lady to marry. And, he was facing pressure from his relatives. So he wanted to marry. So he was on a date with Natasha at a golf course. If I still remember correctly, it was actually a golf course. And he was at a golf course. When I was at a golf course, there was a lady who was serving drinks, Melody. Beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Then Dr. John started interacting with Melody. Even asked for a number. Whilst Natasha was actually watching. Natasha ended up falling for another guy because Natasha ended up talking to another guy. Whilst he was now hooked to Melody. Later on, nothing materialized with Melody. Nothing also materialized with Natasha. So the risk when I'm saying love the one you are with, it's even in love relationships, in your mujolos, if you're in a date with 2 guys, you're not going to give them attention. Yeah. most of the times, if you notice, I just wanted to give you a clue. You're not yet married, young lady. I want to give you a clue. When you're not married, right now, if your guy is still in love with you, you notice even the rate of calling, the rate of care, the rate of actually missing you. The moment you start seeing someone, you can easily tell. But you ignore it. You can easily tell that, no, things are now a bit different. You cannot even go for 2 days without looking for you. Or even when you once upon a time you used to say, hi love, hi whatever, it will be starting saying Deep, Bo, on Deep Rasta, getting it. So you notice that they change now, because it's a person who is now in the middle and is now saying, it's not more like playing a game. It's no longer about emotions. It's not a game of just balancing. So it's a player, and this is not a game. They don't care about what is happening. So what I'm also saying is, even if in a shop, the moment you're going to save the person who is at the front and you leave them, and they're going to save that guy who is actually rushing. So I want you to get this clear, and I want our audience to actually get this clear. In sales, you lose a lot if you just someone says, I want this. Then you just give them that. For example, someone wants spare parts and I want probably oil. Then you just give me oil without necessarily asking, why do I want oil? Because if you just ask me, why do you want oil today? You're going to hear that probably I want a whole service kit. But do you actually bought the whole service kit? No. Are you getting it? So you're going to convince me to even buy more. Instead of just buying a bottle of oil, you end up buying more. I'll also give an example for my brothers and sisters in Chicken Inn, those who are actually selling. If you notice, the biggest mistake is they want to upsell after I've already placed an order. For example, I want 2 pizza. That's when they're going to ask me, what about if I just add salads? But if they're going to ask me, say, who is supposed to be getting this order? Who are you buying it for? Is it for you or is it for your kid? If it's for my kid, for example, I want ice cream, they can actually say, I've got those are top-ups which they can actually put on the ice cream to just nice it. I know if your kid is going to get this flavor, she's going to like it. You are now selling. So selling, it's a transfer of feelings. Selling, it's a conversation which you're going to have with the client. So how are you going to have a conversation when you're going to cut me? True. And you're going to just say, because most of the people are not salespeople. They are order takers. They just take the order which is there and give you. They don't care about upselling, cross-selling, what they just do. So if you save these 2 people, you lose from the guy who was on rushing and the guy who is in front of you. There's not going to be a connection. There's not going to be a relationship. Because at the end of the day, sales and Jolo or love relationships, the equivalent, it's usually on building a relationship with your customer so that they can come again and again. They become a lifetime customer rather than just a transaction.
I'm sure our viewers, they agree with every detail that you're talking about. For now, Jerry, let's go and drink some tea. Join us after the short break.
Did you know the same way people struggle with love relationships is the same way they struggle with sales? Think about the process of prospecting for that special someone, trying to impress them by selling yourself. Did you know you have to go through a similar process to win over customers? The book Sales Equals to Mjolo is evidence of how sales and love relationships are quite similar. It is the story of a doctor looking for the ideal wife for himself, but the narrative is also compared to how sales work. So when you read this book, you not only get educated, but also entertained. Read the book and you can just increase your chances of making more sales or improving your love life. To order your copy, you can get in touch using the contact information showing on the screen.
Want to open a business in Zambia? Here is what you need to know. You have 2 options: a limited liability company offering 100% ownership with a Zambian resident director, or a foreign company allowing expansion while keeping your original structure with at least 1 director required. To register, reserve your business name with PACRA, submit your incorporation documents, register for tech with ZRA, and open a corporate bank account. Zambia is open for investment. Need assistance? Contact us and get started with M&J
building timeless businesses.
Welcome back to the Chartered Vendor podcast, and I am reminding you, go and press the like button, subscribe, and press the ring notification bell. So before the break, Jerry was talking about how in relationships, when you start balancing two people at the same time, you fail to balance. And whether it's a girl or it's a boy, you divert your attention. And so you should focus on what is in front of you. Jerry, you can continue with what you're saying.
Yeah, so I was just saying, if you notice, what I would just want to encourage people, there are two things which are involved. They sales. Mm-hmm. Sales is the ability to convert whatever that need into persuade someone, convince someone into buying something. So the sales process itself is going to be slaughtered if you do things in a rush, just because probably you're under pressure. You've got 5 cars. I think I still remember when I was actually teaching. Shout out to Riden. We are also a customer at Riden. We get our fuel. If you see our cars moving, it's because of Riden. If you also see me moving, it's because of Riden. So you look at it, it's peak hour. You're saving 5 cars. You know, because when you're talking of service stations, they're called reward. They engage. They ask the client. They clean their screen. But these guys are actually saying, when you're under pressure, there's no way. We'll just give you a fuel and they're not going to clean your screen. Mm-hmm. Then I said, it's a wrong principle. Even if you've got 20 cars on your forecourt, you still need to give your service as it is. Because even if you're giving it in a good way, you notice that even that guy who is actually at the number 20, if they see you cleaning the screen, they will also wait their turn because they know that you're also going to clean their screen. Mm-hmm. But if you do things randomly, today you don't clean, tomorrow you don't clean, they'll give you pressure. Are you getting it? Mm-hmm. But sooner than later, they actually know that at this service station, this is their standard. Mm-hmm. And most of the people are attracted to a system. Most of our business people, they make a mistake. We think that people, they want agents, but people, they follow a system. If you look at it, why is that in Chicken Inn, no one actually says, you guys are delaying in my order. Mm-hmm. I'll go to buy to Amairu, be there. You get it?
Because
who is cheap. Mm-hmm. And who is also fast, who's going to treat me like a millionaire. Mm-hmm. I want 20 boxes of chicken in, but you're making me wait. You're getting it? Mm-hmm. Or I'm in a bus, you're making me wait. Mm-hmm. But if you notice, people, they like that system and no one will even voice their concern. Because why? There is a system. Mm-hmm. So the moment you create systems in an organization, you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You improve yourselves. Mm-hmm. You also improve your customer service. And ultimately, you will nail on your customer experience. The feeling which I need to have when I get into a shop, the feeling which I have when I want to get into a service station, the feeling which I have when I'm dealing with you, when I'm doing your business. If you say 3 days, deliver it in 3 days. Yes. Just 20 minutes before we record this podcast, I was communicating to these guys. They sell bricks. They actually said, Jerry, don't even come here. We'll just go to your site and deliver the bricks, and you call you when you're at the site. Just 20 minutes ago, they said, we are going to be there before 10. Mm-hmm. Then they actually called me. They are already at the site. That's a system. Mm-hmm. If that system now, because I'm testing the system, mm-hmm. if it works today, I'm not going to be their permanent customer because I know that these guys, they deliver. When they say 3 days, is 3 days. Yes. So if you're a builder, if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you say, I'll deliver in 2 days, mm-hmm. deliver it in 2 days. That's a system which you're talking about. Mm-hmm. If you deliver it in 1 hour, deliver it in what? In an hour. Chicken Inn will say, I'll deliver it in 10 minutes. Then they'll definitely deliver it in what?
In
10 minutes.
They really offer that, like they make us feel like kings and queens.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So, Jerry, sales is something that everyone should practice more. Mm-hmm. And I really think in sales, people, they mistake people when they come, they deal with those that are urgent or those that are loud, like you mentioned earlier. Why do you think they do so?
Yeah, it's because of because most of the people we're actually putting in our shops, most of the people we're putting in our businesses are not trained. So when people are not trained, they think that they actually, when I've trained a number of companies, I think more than 100 thereabouts. What I've realized is the biggest mistake is actually thinking. It's not on these guys, they actually know what they're doing. They think that they're actually doing a right thing by saving the guy who is shouting, by saving the guy who is saying nasty words, by saving the guy who is buying more. So what I want to urge my entrepreneurs out there, salespeople out there, they need to invest in training. They need to invest in trainings, knowing that when you're doing this, when you're smiling, what does it really mean? Some people, they just smile without knowing that a smile can actually change someone's day. Yes. The way you're going to handle a situation, you are not only there to sell a product, but you are there to also make them change their mood. They were angry today. They were sad today. You can lighten them up by your smile. Smiling. You can lighten them up by asking them those small questions. Probably the husband wasn't even caring for this lady. The family is not also even caring for this lady. But if you just show them care when they're buying their beauty products, they will value you. They will always remember you because you are better than their husband. You are better than the family. So it's always about creating a customer experience, creating that feeling, having that rapport, that connection, that intimate with your customer to say they will feel like cheating when they're buying from another brand. That's what you want. So what I think is these people is because of ignorance. They need to be trained. I've been in a lot of seminars, talking to entrepreneurs, talking to companies. It's because of mindset. It's because of their feeling. They are not up there when it comes to knowing what sales is or what customer service is, what makes people buy. They think if I'm cheap, if the product is available, they'll always come. There is a customer who will say, if you don't have a product, I would rather wait until you have it. If I want to buy a phone right now, I'd rather wait for the guy who supplies me with phones until he has the order for me to buy, because I don't trust the other brands. I don't get that same feeling or when I'm buying from other people. That's what you need to do.
For example, in boutiques, you can get in a boutique and I noticed it's easy to actually steal than buying. Yes, because they don't even assist you. They don't even ask, what are you here for, Memo? How can we assist you? You can walk around the whole boutique.
When you're not going out.
When you're not going out. They don't even notice that you are going out. I don't know if you have experienced that.
Yes, many times. In Zim, Zambia, sometimes in South Africa. Although South Africa is better. Yeah, so what I'm just saying is we want to encourage our people, make them understand what the importance of investing in sales, investing in training their people. And you notice a shop has been open 10 years. They've never trained their people. They don't even know that it's offensive. I think even you get into a company, a receptionist to look at you like this. They're seated. They don't stand when you come in. They don't smile when you come in. They think that you're actually bothering them. They're on their phone whilst they're actually talking to you. So it's what I noticed is it's ignorance. People don't know. So we are there to preach to them, sometimes with this free content. Sometimes if they also want, they can engage us. We can train them so that they can know what to do.
Okay. The gurus say serve with discipline and not with desperation.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that one.
Yeah, that's good. You know, if you concentrate, like what you're actually saying, if you concentrate on discipline, I think discipline can actually overtake anything. If you just tell yourself that my standards are like this, if you want this, I can't. Like, for example, personally, if you want me to train your people, I'll never train your people without accessing them first. Because I'll be wasting time. Yes, as much as I'm hungry for money, but I want money where I'm actually also giving results. I don't want to be another statistic where I'm going to be, people are going to say, Jerry came here, trained our people, but nothing actually changed. I want to train your people. I want to highlight the areas of concern. I want to highlight where the weaknesses are, and so that you know the whole sales process itself, and you can deliver results. And me and you, we're going to be happy. We'll smile all the way to the bank, and we've actually helped the company to grow.
Okay. Okay, Jerry. Yeah. Okay, like you heard him saying, we also have he mentioned about the sales process. We have a book called Selling Like a Vendor, where we have those selling ideas. So you can come and get it. It goes for $20 again. Thank you, viewers, for listening to what we were talking about. If you found it helpful, you can list it in the comment section. We'd like to hear your views. And if we made any mistake, we are also willing to hear and correct. Go and press the like button, subscribe, and share. See you next time. Bye.